Hi everyone, this is a tutorial to demonstrate how you can move a ladder back jacquard stitch from side to side to suit the colourwork pattern that you are working on. So a ladder back jacquard stitch is a way of catching floats. I have another tutorial which I'll link in the comments demonstrating how you set that up and how you work it. This is kind of a next step where I'm just going to demonstrate how this stitch can actually be quite flexible in terms of you can move it around on your work to suit the colourwork pattern that you are creating. So this method is useful where you have colourwork that's kind of changing position, that's maybe undulating in some fashion, where there's a changing number of stitches here that, that you are working before you reach the ladder back jacquard. Obviously, if you wanted to span that gap, you could just catch the floats in another way to reach the ladder back jacquard stitch. But I just want to show another option where you essentially move the ladder back stitch to suit the colourwork pattern that you are working. So what you would do is you would work your colourwork pattern as normal. And then let's say here I wanted to move my ladder back jacquard stitch one stitch to the right. When I get to one stitch before the ladder back jacquard stitch, I would then be looking to move that stitch. There's a couple of ways in which you could do it. One way is to almost work it like a cable stitch where you're changing the position of those stitches. So you could slip the ladder back jacquard from the needles, making sure you catch the other stitch at the front, and then the position of those stitches is swapped. You can bring your main colour to the front out of the way so that you can work that ladder back jacquard stitch. Bring your main colour around to the back and carry on working like that. So what you've done there in effect is move that stitch one place to the right. Now, if you're a little bit cautious about having your stitches falling off the needles and having to pick them up again, you can also do this without actually dropping any stitches from the needles at all. So here's the same situation again where I'm wanting to move this ladder back jacquard stitch one place to the right. I bring my main colour to the front and then I go round the back of that main colour stitch like that behind the stitch and knit into the ladder back jacquard stitch first, leaving it on the needles. Bring my main colour back round to the back, knit the main colour stitch, and then let both of those stitches fall from the needles. And they have swapped position without you having to sort of drop your stitch and then pick it back up again. Okay, I'll now show you both of those options if you're moving the stitch one place to the left instead. So you'll knit all the way up to your ladder back jacquard stitch. And then one option, as before, is to simply switch those stitches over by putting your needle through the front of the second stitch. Let both those stitches drop from the needle and make sure you grab the ladder back jacquard stitch with that left needle. Once the stitches have changed position, you can just knit them as you would normally for ladder back jacquard method. So bringing that main colour to the front when you knit the ladder back jacquard stitch. And again, if you're concerned about dropping stitches and picking them up again, you can do this without dropping any stitches. So what you'll do to move this stitch to the left, you'll come with your main colour first of all and you'll knit into the second stitch on the needle. Leave it on the needle. Then bring this yarn round to the front again so that you can knit the ladder back jacquard stitch. And then let both of those drop from the needles and they've changed positions and you're ready to carry on working. So that is a way of making this ladder back jacquard stitch a bit more flexible so you can move it around, change its position in your knitting to suit the colourwork pattern that you are working. Okay, I hope that helps.